The lungs of the earth are going to be given back to it, which is all these trees and all of these flowers, and it's going to be a whole total different vibration.
The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice in thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us.
Because the Lord is going to restore everything. You're going to have a total different vibration on the earth, a total different smell. You're not going to be walking down the street and smell shit and piss, and no foul odors or nothing like that, because the lungs of the earth are going to be given back to it, which is all these trees and all of these flowers, and it's going to be a whole total different vibration. You're going to see the aura and how things are going to change and how elevated things are going to be. Our senses are going to be heightened. Everything about us is going to be glorified.
The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice in thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Makapadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to our younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations. Hopefully, got them pushing this word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds. In the name of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopefully the believers, the listeners who that came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today, is dealing with, all right, the wickedness, runs deep, dealing with Esau, Edom, all right, and what he's trying to pull off, because, as the scriptures, okay, say that this man will be revealed, okay, matter of fact, let's go there, okay, let's get this in the book of Jeremiah, okay, Jeremiah 49, in verse 10. Okay. This is in AMP, Jeremiah 49 and 10. It says, but I have script Esau, Edom, all right, bear. All right, let you know, speaking of a nation, okay, which Esau, the progenitor of the Edomites, okay, the so-called, white man that runs the earth today, headed by, these Amalekites, okay, of the nation of Edom, okay, and prophecy, spoke, all right, that this man would be made bare, all right, in these latter times, okay. So what this man is all about, what he's been about, okay, is being made, all right, public, it's being revealed, okay, and this is all prophecy, the fact that this man is being revealed and to the level that he's being revealed on, Okay, and it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. It says, I have uncovered his hiding places, and he cannot hide himself. Okay, so Esau's not able to hide what he's doing. As he get closer to trying to pull this off, with his new world order, his technocracy, all right, his digital, system that he wants to establish in the earth, he can't hide, what he's about, and the spirit has revealed this man. Okay, so there's nothing but information that's just flooding, okay, the internet on what this devil is on. You have the prophets first and foremost, all right, the two witnesses, northern and southern kingdom, all right. And then as your Eliasha Wama says, you have that third witness, okay, these different truthers and whistleblowers, okay, that's telling it all, okay. And it says his descendants have been destroyed along with his brothers, relatives, and his neighbors, and he is no more. Okay, because before he will be spoiled in this war, all right, because he's getting ready to lose this war, this third world's war. Okay, and he's used to, the first two world wars, the devil, has been able to, all right, forward, okay, his authority in the earth, as World War One, ended. All right, the last two major monarchs, okay, with the Russians and the Ottoman Empire. Okay, World War Two, he was able to establish, a new world reserve currency. Put those small hats in the land. Establish the state of Israel. Okay, so every war he's used to advancing his agenda. But in this third world war, he's going to be a spoil. He's going into captivity after this war. Okay, according to prophecy, man. All right. So what we're seeing is this devil, trying to be the most high, okay, through his technology, man. You see, his wickedness is on the whole another level, okay? What he's trying to pull off, all right, he's on a whole nother level of what he's trying to do. Okay? You see, this ain't, no light thing. It's bigger than, all right, him controlling your bank account. All right, this man wants to change, okay, what it means to be a human. Okay, what it means to exist in the earth, man. He wants to change your whole makeup. Okay, that's why when you go to the book of Second Thessalonians, all right, Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8, the same narrative, and then shall their wicked be revealed. Because Esau, Edom, he is the wicked. I have made Esau bare. Okay, so the Lord promised that he would reveal this man in this time. Okay, and it's time for the devil, all right, to be revealed before he's judged. Okay, so the world will know exactly why this man is being judged. Okay, so all his wickedness, is at the forefront now. Okay, and what he's trying to pull off. Okay, he said, "Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth." Okay, and see, he has no response to the truth. That's why he hasn't directly confronted the truth. He got these sellout niggas, just bugging out, teaching anything. Okay, he got a few minions going around pestering the camps. Mainly vocab. Okay, but he can't directly confront the truth because he don't have no answer, man. And the truth is consuming this devil, man. Okay, and the truth is constantly reminding him that he loses. Okay, and this is why he's so motivated to try to pull off what he's trying to pull off, man. Which is to re-engineer existence, man. Okay, like I said, I got a clip. I want to play some of it and get into it. Okay, and just a snippet of what this devil is on. Okay, it says even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Okay, and let's get into some of these words. Okay, because Esau comes in the energy of Satan, the adversary. This devil is tapped into the spiritual demon Satan. All right, like no other heathen. Okay, that's why I say his working. Okay, and you go into this word working, in the Greek is energia. Okay, which goes into what? All right, his energy. Okay, his operation. He will operate in the energy of Satan. Okay, this devil has been able to, run his kingdom, with efficiency through the energy of Satan. Okay, because he's tapped in on the left hand and he's privy, to certain, knowledge and information and technology and okay, micro technology, which has allowed the devil, to tap into some things. Okay, but his wicked ambition, with what he's been given on the left hand side, his power, his resources, his technology, okay, mixed with his wicked ambition, okay, and he's putting himself in a very slippery place. All right, what he's trying to pull off. Okay, it says, with all power, okay, and signs, okay, which you go into the word signs, and what this devil is doing is an indicator of who the wicked is. Okay, because you go into the Greek word, semion, in the Greek. Okay, it says a sign, a mark, a token, and it says that by which a person or a thing is distinguished from others and is known. Okay, so you have, with that context, okay, the things that this devil is doing, the fact that he covered the faces of the judges thereof. As the scriptures say, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. So that's a sign of who the wicked is, because who covered up? Because you go into the judges, all right? It's the men of Israel. Okay? Beginning with our power, the Most High, which he painted the Most High to be an Edomite, he painted the Messiah to be an Edomite. Okay? All the prominent men of the Bible, he paints them to be Edomites. So the true judges, okay, he has painted his face over them, man. Okay, and that's a sign, that's a token, okay, of who's the wicked. Okay, and then dealing with his technology, it says a sign, a prodigy, all right, a portent, i.e., an unusual occurrence transcending the common course of nature. Okay, so this devil's technology, he's been able to do things, that nobody has ever been able to do. Okay, he has, his technology, okay, doing things that the earth hasn't seen. Okay, so this man, all right, would possess capability that transcends the common course of nature. Okay, and see, he dresses it up. Okay, like this is good, but see, this devil, this technology that this devil has, and the way that he uses it, okay, it's destructive. You see, because Esau, Edom, he was built to take peace from the earth, and all he could do, all right, all this man is able to do is take peace from the earth. So with this technology that this man has, all right, in the way, that he uses it and applies it in society, okay, is destructive. Okay, so this is an indicator of who this devil is, all right, by the things that he will be doing, all right, the technology he will be, allowed, to tap into. Okay, but this ain't no light thing. Like I say, it's bigger than okay. Just I say he wants to control your bank account. Okay, it's bigger than that. All right, this man wants to control your spirit on a whole nother level. Okay, he wants to modify your behavior on a whole nother level. Okay, you go into the word wonders in the Greek, which is
Strong's G 5059. Teras.
mhm.
Teras.
Yep, and it's similar to that word sign save me on, which is what a prodigy. Okay, a miracle performed by one. Okay, so let's go back here. I want to go to this video. All right, now this is an interview from Redacted. Now, I got this video from the brothers out in GMS Houston. You know, they played this on one of their Thursday night lives. All right, I was tuned in, and he was saying some things. And you can tell that this guy here, man, he's you know, yeah, he's been studying so much, man. He damn near bugged himself out, but he makes some points, okay, on what the devil's been up to. And what we have to understand, Esau Edom has been experimenting on the masses for a long time. He's been doing a lot of, wickedness in the background for a long time. Okay. And now these things are being revealed, So let's play this. All right. You got about let me share it. You got about let's see. All right, let's play this. So you want to play a few minutes of and jump a little bit, not super long, a few minutes worth of this footage, and we expound on it in the spirit. But let's start here with
nanoparticles, manipulation of their DNA. We know that to be true now. But beyond that, the cell phone towers, the 5G towers, the constant bombardment of electricity into our lives, the cell phones, all of that. What is the goal? I mean, I think a lot of people might picture like a Dr. Evil sort of sitting there, in an underground bunker. Well, what are we seeing here?
It's to upgrade or alter our species while killing it off. And it's been decided by multiple groups of people. It's not just one single that person. When people hear about the World Economic Forum, that's the public arm of the people that have been asked to be in those positions.
So the WEF, the World Economic Forum, that's the public sector, okay, of these elite families. This is why, they speak so boldly about, a global world order, a great reset, okay, the fourth industrial revolution, hacking humans, all right, because this is what the elites are on, okay, and they say it's been decided by a group of people. He's speaking about the elites, okay, that's the group of people. These are Edomites. Okay, see, the Bible calls these things out directly. These are Edomites. Okay, that's doing this, man. Trying to change what it means to be a human. All right, trying to make you not a human. Okay.
Of people that have decided they want to reduce global population and they want to completely alter what it means to be human. So you have spokespeople like Noah Harari coming out and making statements about hackable animals, which are humans. And you're seeing the ongoing preparation for the separation or division of your divine incarnation, your right to be associated with godhood. That's being removed. So they're going to create a synthetic, different silicon-based type of human that is fused with technology. Either they'll be chipped or they can use other tools to
either there'll be what? Okay, either they'll be chipped, but that's the ultimate goal. All right, so he's trying to take up, he's trying to re-engineer authentic humans to fuse with his technology, man. Okay, he wants to have the boast to say, I've re-engineered all right, the Most High's creation, man. This is what the devil is on. He's on the quest to re-engineer the Most High's creation. Okay, that's why there's so much, they demonize carbon because they don't even want humans to be carbon based anymore. They want to be silicon based, okay, and compatible with technology, with his tech and his digital system, man. Okay, and this man has turned the earth to one big science lab, man. A mad scientist lab. Okay.
Use behavior modification and what that's going to do. Basically, it's going to dissolve the boundaries between your inner world and your outer world. That's what it's going to do.
So
because
we understand
everything
the
will be
extinction level of
accelerated.
What we're talking about here is, are we talking about the killing of people or the mind altering control of people?
If I want to get rid of you, I can kill you and then you're dead, right? But if I also want to get rid of you, I'll just alter you. And then I can accelerate your death because I'll have complete control over you mentally, physically, and your nervous system. And if I want to put you to bed early or kill you off or reduce your life, I can do so. And that's what they're doing. It's just one tool in the toolbox that is being used to reduce population reduction. But it's the most lethal and the most dangerous for humanity. This is the breaking point underway. So when you see interviews with the head of Palantir talking about the biggest, most gigantic surveillance system being put in place, he's not talking about the ecological effects of what that's going to do. This is why a lot of people are saying, this guy's the Antichrist, and they mean it, because he's aiding and abetting the end of your free will, the end of your own cognitive liberty to make decisions based upon your own thoughts, your own ideas, your own history, everything. That's what they're doing.
Why right now? I mean, have there been specific alarms?
They want to change what it means to be human. He said, look, they want to alter you. He said, yeah, they can kill you, which that's a part of it, the depopulation agenda. Okay. But they want to alter as well. They want to alter people, okay, after their own image, after his own creation, after his own engineer. Okay. So I say it's way, deeper than, buying and selling or, okay, you see, red line, he don't give niggas loans, business loans, systemic racism. Like, this devil is on a whole nother kick, man. Okay. And we know that when he says the Antichrist, well, this is the nation of anti-Messiah. All right. Esau, Edom is the anti-Messiah nation. Okay. he embodies the spirit of anti-Messiah, going back to Satan, which is what adversary. Okay.
Going off. You mentioned a few, but I just want to be very specific on this. Why you're coming forward now, warning all of us, like what is happening behind the scenes. We're being distracted by other things, of course. They love to do that. But
I'll tell you. This is important to know. This is very important to know, because I've arrived here at this point and with other people that I'm talking to in public, because when I was asked to be chief advisor on this committee, lo and behold, I found out that the committee was not.
Fast forward it. Hold on. There's one more point I want to get. About right here.
He didn't want to say he was working for a joint operation between the U.S. and somebody else, and he was trying to get me to do certain things for him. But I said, I have to meet you privately. I can't do, I have to see what's happened to you. I mean, but when you were talking to him over the phone, he would sound like a normal person. There's nothing there. But I don't know who he was before this took place. So this is probably quite common. Quite common.
For the average person watching this right now, the mom or husband, has a family, trying to put food on the table. they're not part of these secret government programs. They have just a normal life. They got the COVID shot when they were told to, because that's what the government told them to do. All of that. They've got cell phones. Like, what does this mean for the average person watching right now?
It means the you that you think is you, isn't going to be you. So I wouldn't say that if I didn't have a solution or a strategy to talk to the public about, because I've made sure I've talked to other people that I've spoken to about this in public. The most important thing a person can do is if they become a victim of some type of directed energy weapon, or they're having health issues, or their personality changes, or they find out that they're being influenced by these type of technologies and they have proof of it, and they want to make a claim against the people that are doing it, they have to be first in line to make a declaration for that. So this is what I've done.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to make a claim against these people, okay? Because what guys like himself, they don't understand. Okay, they have certain insight on what's going on, but they don't understand that these people are going to get draconian. Okay, and these little laws that and rights that you people think you have, it's over. When they collapse this system, when this system goes into chaos, all constitution, all bill of rights, all these things are gonna go out the window, and you're either gonna get down and lay down with this man's new world order. Okay, he calls it all. That's a mandate. Okay, right now, he's doing these, covert, experiments, and mind manipulation and social engineering, and he has people volunteering, getting this technology, and when it's gonna come to a point, he's gonna make it inconvenient for you not to have it. It's gonna be a mandate. Then this war coming, man. Okay, ain't gonna be no court cases. Okay, when this man really wants to implement this. All right, it's gonna take a higher power. The Heavenly Father sending back Yahweh, okay, to stop this man. Okay.
Done for myself already. I've already filed declarations in the county recorder's office and with the UCC declaring all my cognitive rights. And if there's violations in any form, whether it's the airport, restaurant, a house, public event, anywhere, and I find out about it, that I will file claims and for certain amounts of money. And I've made these declarations already, because there's no law anywhere in the world that is prepared to deal with this, because there's law firms right now behind the scenes that are claiming they're going to be experts in neurocognitive law, when there's nothing about that in law. So if you're fused with another, with a technology, you can't be in court because you're no longer human anyway, and you don't have any rights, your own.
And that's the point. Okay. He said, if you're fused with technology, you're not human anymore, you're own. Okay, this man wants to hijack humanity from the Most High. You see, like, this devil is trying to pull this off, man. Okay, that's the main point I wanted, because he talking about he gonna file a claim if he find out. Nigga, you out of there. Okay, you not even a thought. You gonna be light work. Okay, but that's the point I wanted. Let's play this again.
So if you're fused with another, with a technology, you can't be in court because you're no longer human anyway, and you don't have any rights, your own. You're a product for somebody else. We're giving away our humanity in process right now. So I found.
So this is what the devil is on, man. He wants to hijack humanity to himself, man. Okay, so let's get some precepts, man. Okay, let's go here to as we always get into it, but let's get this in the AMP. Okay, read the book of Psalms. All right, 64. Okay, well, let's get it. Okay, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 64. All right, and we jump to verse 5. All right, it says they encourage themselves in their pursuit of an evil agenda. Okay, and this man has a wicked agenda beyond what most people think. Okay, even people that think they know, they fully don't understand what the devil is trying to pull off and what he's doing. Okay, so they talk of laying snares secretly. They say, who will discover us, man? And they've been doing these covert operations for a long time. Social engineering, okay, MK Ultra. Like, we think of MK Ultra and we think of Kanye West and certain celebrities, which of course, they're under MK Ultra, all right, and they're just under more concentrated MK Ultra. All right, but this devil has been doing mass MK Ultra on the public, man. You see, us coming into the truth, man, like we're really being healed from a lot of cognitive damage, a lot of neurological damage that this devil, okay, has been covertly doing for a long time. Okay. And no one, will be able to put it together that you have these elite Edomites behind the scene, okay, that's intentionally, okay, poisoning, the food supply, intentionally, all right, putting messaging in your subconscious, intentionally, okay, linking you, all right, with his device, beginning with, because it began, with the pagers, when they really started to affect, people's neurological development. It began with the pagers, then the cell phones, because he's already started merging people with technology. It's just, first it was in, your pocket. Okay, then it became wearable, and the next phase is under the skin. People are already one, with their phones. Okay, you see, so the process of merging, transhumanism, merging people with machine has already begun. They've been secretly doing these things, all right, for a while. It said they devise acts of injustice, saying, we are ready with a well-conceived plan. And he's decades ahead of people, man. He has decades of a head start, okay, with what this man has been doing behind the scene. So he's decades ahead of people. Okay. That's why, like I say, you look at the internet, people arguing back and forth on what men should do, what women should do. Look, man, he done with it. Esau already ruined, okay, most of society beyond repair. Most of society is ruined. Okay, and that's why it's such a precious thing that the Lord brought us into this marvelous light, took us out of darkness, man. Okay, but we're talking about this man's already ruined, all right, generations. Okay, and the children coming up now, they're being ruined at a way rapid rate, all right, than the adults that we see today. Okay, because this man, he's crafty, and he has all his free time and the resources, and he's enlightened on the left hand side. He understands the psychology. Okay, so he has all this opportunity to do this, man. Okay, he said, for the inward thought in the heart of man, all right, are deep. Okay, so this man, he goes deep into understanding, human psychology. Okay, he goes deep into understanding, the mRNA and, okay, carbon, and you see your neurological system. He's deep into these things, man. Okay, well, see, what's our hope? You see, and this is our comfort. The scripture speaks about, this man and his plans and agendas. Okay, immediately after, what does it say? Verse 7. But the Most High will shoot them with an unexpected arrow. Suddenly will they be wounded, man. And it began with the prophets, because the prophets are, the spiritual weapons of the Most High. Okay, and then it's going to manifest into this third world war. Okay, in which this man's infrastructure and everything that he's trying to establish is going to be destroyed. Okay, so the Most High is getting ready to shoot this man down. Okay, he's getting ready to thwart. Okay, all his wicked intentions and agendas and schemes. Okay, the Most High through Yahweh Shai is going to stop this man in his tracks, man. It says, so they will be caused. All right, so they will be caused to stumble. Their own tongue is against them, and this is why you see all this information constantly coming out. Okay, a lot of these insiders, people that was ex-CIA, ex-military, Silicon Valley, and all these different, they've been privy to certain things. Okay, and the Lord had them, collect all this information, inside information. Okay, just to reveal it. Okay, in this time. Okay, it says all who gaze at them will shake their head in scorn. Yeah, because now it's a shameful spewing on his glory. Okay, and it's becoming a narrative that these people are the problem of the earth, man. You Edomites, man. It said, then all men will fear the Most High's judgment. They will declare the work of the Most High, because it's going to be understood why these people are being judged, man. Okay, the Lord they say the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed, man. Psalm 9:16. So the Lord's finna make a statement by how he judged the devil, man. Okay, and this is the why. Okay, it says, and they will consider and wisely acknowledge, all right, what he has done. The righteous will rejoice. Okay, Lord willing, that's us, man, the hopeful elect that endure. The righteous will rejoice in the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, and take refuge in him. All the upright in heart will glory, okay, and offer praise, man. And that's us on those chariots, man, singing the song of Moses, man. All right, the song of praising our power for defeating the enemies, man. All right, the heathen, beginning with Esau, Edom, man. Okay, so yeah, man, just wanted to get into that, man. This devil's wickedness runs deep. Okay, he has a lot going on, man, and what he's trying to do is very offensive to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Okay, and the Lord is going to show that he's offended at what the devils are doing through judgment, man. Okay, so Lord will you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. I'm gonna give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations, and hopefully, shalom.